Welcome to the 6th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May, and today our adventure takes us all the way to Ingersoll, Ontario. Welcome back to our returning viewers, and welcome to those of you who are watching us for the first time. Before we start our adventure, Colleen will now talk about what we're wearing.
So last episode, we talked about this yarn that we got when we were in Kitchener, and it's Diamond Luxury Footloose sock yarn, 90% merino, 10% nylon. And I wanted to make you a scarf that was a little different. She loves the Anguli cowl, but something a little different.
It feels very nice. It's sock. You say it's sock yarn?
It's sock yarn, and it's got wool in it.
Oh.
And normally I don't knit with
No,
wool.
but it's not itchy, because I find wool to be itchy sometimes, and
Yeah.
this doesn't feel itchy, but it's a great color, and I love it so much.
I love it very much. And what I used was this pattern, which is called the Koigu scarf pattern, and it's by May Landra. And I added a little bit of extra length to it. And the other thing that I did, and excuse me for reaching over, is I put an I-cord by Neuf on it. So it really finishes, and I don't know if you can see that, it really finishes off the edge nicely. Mm-hmm. And I really like how it kind of grounds the scarf. So
yeah, I like that edge. It's very, it feels solid.
Yes, and it really
gives a little bit
finishes
of weight.
on it. Exactly. And it looks great with your navy jacket, so I'm really happy with that.
I love the color, yeah.
That's good. And what I'm wearing is called the Sweet Anemone. I think I've said that properly. The Sweet Anemone shawl, and that's by Orange Smoothie Knits. And it is made out of Zen Garden Serenity 20, which has merino, cashmere, and nylon. We got this when we were at the Purple Pearl in Toronto.
Yes,
this was last year. And actually we bought this so I could get a sock pattern for little baby socks. That's what we did. But I ended up being able to make a shawl, so I'm really thrilled about that. I love how it goes with this sweater that I'm wearing. And it's just a different color.
It's a great color on you, though. It's not something that you normally would wear. Usually Colleen wears purple, as all of you who've watched this in the past know that.
Right.
But here you are wearing green, and it looks fantastic.
Well, thank you so much.
It's good.
I really appreciate that. All right, so that's what we're wearing. And so now we're going to talk about our finished objects. Now we're going to talk about our finished objects. I'm going to talk about some knitting, and May's going to talk about her painting. So the first thing I'd like to talk about are these lovely little things called baby and toddler socks. There's the pattern.
I recognize this wool. I think this is the wool that we dyed.
It is, and that was at the Yarn Over Sleepover retreat that we were in Aurelia.
Fern Resort.
The Fern Resort.
And that will be on our previous podcast. We talked about how nice that was and what a great time we had there.
Right, and registration is probably opening up now. I know they did a little bit of advanced registration, so take a look, go online. So that's the yarnoversleepover.com, and take a look and see what you think.
And maybe one of your classes will be dyeing yarn also.
Exactly.
You might like it. These are cute.
Good. So we had enough that I made a shawl, I made those socks, and I still have this much left. So I think I'm going to make at least one more pair of little socks and see what else I can do with them.
Yeah, those are very cute.
Yes, I really, really like them. The second thing is a present for May. So there it is, my dear.
Thank you.
Okay, and that's by the Turkish bed socks. It's by Churchmouse Yarns and Tees.
Lovely.
And that is in Bernat Sox, and that is in their Surf's Up colorway. And we had made some, well, I guess I had made some ankle socks for Scott's friend, and we had some left. And so I thought, well, what can I do with that? And I thought, I can make you some. Mm-hmm. I've got lots left. I've made the one, so it's a half object. It's a, call it a hoe. Yeah. It's a half object. So there it is. I was listening to the Sarah from Cozy Up with the Stitchin' Sisters, and she has put in a hack to the pattern. It's a paid-for pattern, so I'm not going to talk about that. But she has a way of doing it so you don't have to stitch part of it up. And she did recommend that you try the pattern as it was first before you tried the hack. And so that's what I've done. This is exactly to pattern, but I think they're kind of comfy.
I did try it on. I was going to say it fits like a glove, but that probably wouldn't be appropriate since it's since it's a sock.
That's true.
So it fits like a sock, and it fits very nice, and they're comfortable, and it's practical again. So thank you again. So great. Recommend them.
All right. Next thing I want to talk about is my lolodidit Genesis wrap, and that's by Slagle. It is a fantastic pattern. Went so quickly. So I'm just going to let you hold it up. I'm not sure how much everybody's going to be able to see. It goes.
Colors are absolutely phenomenal. Like very bright, vibrant.
Really happy
I
with
wouldn't
it.
have put those colors together. It works. You and purple are it's just amazing. But it really works.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. And once again, what I did at the end, I'm just going to hold this up, so if you excuse me for just a sec. There is another I-cord bind off. I really like it, and I wanted to finish off with yellow. This pattern involves doing some weighing of yarn, and that was really helpful to me, so I knew I had enough to do that bind off. But I thought it was a nice way to finish off the purple.
I like that bind off. I really like that finish.
Yeah, I think it does a nice job.
Great job.
So that was in a Sweet Georgia, Party of 5, Tough Love sock, 80% merino and 20% nylon, and that's the Honey Fig colorway.
Oh, very nice.
Yep, so that's what that is. And the other thing that I've done has nothing to do with knitting. Well, it does sort of, because it's a project bag for knitting, but it's sewing. So May, for Christmas, bought me some fabric and said, you always make project bags for other people, make one for yourself. So you did a great job. She picked out the fabric and she gave it to me for Christmas, which was lovely. And so I just, in the last little bit, I had time to actually make a project bag. I tried a little different shape. This is a wedge bag. I wanted it big enough to be able to hold something like a shawl or something like that. So it's wide, but it's not.
It's nice.
Yeah, I love it. I really, really enjoyed it.
I noticed you have a little project keeper on there. Of,
Yeah.
a leaf.
It's that little leaf that we got in Kitchener.
That's a great idea.
I like that one.
And you put a handle on here, which I think is handy. You can put your hand through there and knit.
And I got some lovely polka dot lining, so I'm really, really happy with it. And so I did sewing when I was in high school, but hadn't done a whole lot. But I'm loving making these things.
Yeah, that turned out really nice.
It's lots of fun. I do
Great
that.
job.
But I wanted to mention, because not everybody sews, not everybody has a sewing machine, not everybody has money to buy a project bag. So there's ways to have a project bag without doing that.
Because when you do a custom project bag, they're not cheap.
No,
I mean,
they're not.
Because they appreciate the work that goes into them.
Right.
And so they are a little expensive. I mean, they're unique, and that's what makes them special.
Absolutely.
But they can be a little pricey, as you know.
Right.
So you, like you say, there's other things that you can do to, if you don't have that kind of money.
So, my youngest son, Thomas, gave me some money for Chapters, Indigo. And I saw this and I thought that would be a perfect project bag. So that's enough for at least a pair of socks. Probably 2 skeins of wool would fit in there. I really like it.
What was it, a makeup bag kind of thing, do you think?
You know what? I think it's like a travel bag. I think that's what it is. There's some zippered pockets inside. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't considered a knitting project bag, but it works.
That's a great idea.
Then we were in Michael's and we found some.
These were on sale. I remember.
Yeah,
they were on sale for like makeup, and when you go away, we got a couple of these things. Yeah.
And once again, that's got a sock in it.
Look at that.
And it fits nicely. Wasn't a lot of money, but it holds that project for me. So I'm thrilled with that.
You can take that in the car or whatever you need to go, and it's all nice.
Absolutely. And
very innovative.
This one is actually from the dollar store.
Oh.
I know. And it is plasticky, so it won't get wet.
It's good for when we go camping.
Exactly.
This would be great for camping because you don't have to worry about it, and your knitting could be protected.
So you could wipe it right off.
The elements.
Once again, there's a zippered compartment.
The dollar store? Was it actually $1 or was it?
It might have been a little bit more than $1, but
$2 or $3 is perfect. Yeah.
So the reason why I wanted to go over those with you is because there's all different price points, but get yourself something that you like. So if you find some fabric that you like or some shape that you like, I know I got a bag at Winners, same thing, or Marshall's. They have, sometimes you'll see makeup bags, those kind of things. And if you don't need it to be something specifically for knitting, it still will do the trick for you and carry your knitting and keep it safe.
Right. So you can have May socks, May scarf, May slippers.
Yes, lots of good things. So that is my finished objects. And so now May's going to talk about her painting.
Yep. Well, as you can see, I don't know how much you can see. This is just another one of my paintings that I've done. And I used the modeling paste again for the seashells. I kind of like that beachy theme type thing. But anyway, it's just something else that I've painted. Again, I say I'm jack of all trades, master of none. That seems to be what I do. And anyway, I'm just going to put different paintings up here during our podcast just to put them out there.
Exactly. And you do such an amazing job. And by the way, your scarf and you've got some
beach theme going on.
It looks really good. And you are a talented lady and your eye for color is amazing. So I'm glad that you get to share what you've done because you really do a good job with that.
Thank you.
All right. So that is our finished objects. And next we're going to talk about works in progress. Now we're going to talk about my works in progress. I only have 2 this time. Lots of times I have 3, but that Lolo Genesis wrap went so quick that it became a finished object. So now I've been able to wear it and I really, really like it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is another shawl or shawlette, and it's by Martina Behm, and it's called the Hitchhiker. And if you go on Ravelry, there are so many of these, and you can see all these examples and all the different things. I've made one before that was in all the same color. This one is actually your favorite, A Party of 5,
yes.
by Sweet Georgia. So there is what it is. You can see this over here is the black, and then it's going into a charcoal, and then it's going into slate.
This is going to be great when it's done.
It will be beautiful.
It'll go a lot with,
I know.
With a lot of things.
Exactly.
Especially white, I can see it pop. So
that's right. So it's the Sweet Georgia Party of 5. It's Tough Love Sock, 80% merino wool, 20% nylon.
Feels
it's
nice.
the graphite colorway. I love this because it's all garter stitch. You have to add a stitch here and take some stitches off there, but it's all garter, so it's easy. And we've been watching some TV, which allows me to just sit and knit and watch TV. So I really am enjoying it, and I can hardly wait till it's done. I wear a lot of black, and it's going to be nice to have that bit of gray around my neck. I really like that. The other thing that I'm working on, and I'm going to let you hold that up, is it's a Katy Lou's sock pattern by Dragonpine Designs. So the people of London Yarns distribute this. And this is using Premier Yarns wool-free sock.
It is so soft. I wish you could feel that out there because it's so soft. It doesn't feel like, well, there is no wool in it. As we've talked before, but that's why it's so soft. 93%
acrylic, 7% PBT. And you can see that I have turned the heel. So now I'm just about done all my gusset decreases. And so now I have to do the foot. So this sock is for Taylor, who is my son Thomas's girlfriend. And I hope she likes purple.
She'll like this.
I think she'll like that.
Can't not like this.
But I just wanted to let people know. So I've had some lovely folks comment on the YouTube channel, which I really appreciate because
very nice.
And they're nice comments, and you've been giving me some ideas. So I had explained that I was wanting to try different heels and not being able to get there. So what I've decided is I'm going to make shorty socks. So just not go through the whole long leg, make shorty socks and try different heels. So I think I'm going to try about 4 different heels. I've already done the heel flap and gusset, so I know I don't have to do that one. So I'm going to try about 3 or 4 others, and then I'm going to show them on the podcast.
Okay, great.
And then I'm going to discuss what I think about how they feel and how they fit.
And people were good about answering that, eh? Giving you some good ideas you said.
Exactly.
So
it was great. And we really appreciate any comments that you have. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like what we're doing, because we really appreciate you're out there watching us. So it makes it fun for us.
Yeah, so thanks.
All right. And so that's our works in progress. And next thing we're going to talk about is our actual adventure.
For our venture, we visited Ingersoll, Ontario. Ingersoll has a population of about 13,000 people. It was originally called Thomas Ingersoll. That was named after a guy. And you can appreciate this because your son's named Thomas.
Absolutely.
It was actually known also as the cheese capital.
That makes sense.
During the 18 and 1900s. So it produced and packaged a good deal of the renowned cheddar. Cheddar cheese.
That's
Yes.
interesting.
That is interesting. So the first cheddar cheese factory was actually built there in 1840 because the English and Scottish immigrants would come over, and they really knew how to do this, and so they were actually the people that showed them their practice on how to do this. So then they built in 1866. They built this cheese factory called the James Harris Cheese Factory, and it is now called the Elmhurst Inn. And we happened to have lunch at the Elmhurst Inn, which was a great day, and we had fun. And the meal was fantastic. And the Elmhurst Inn is it's also a spa, and we've been there for a spa. Not this time, but we have been there for massage. And they have what it is. It's an inn. They do outdoor weddings. And we've been there for weddings too.
Yeah, my niece got married there. Yeah, that's right.
And I've been to some other weddings there too.
Oh, good.
A really great place to visit. We had a lovely adventure, and we visited a couple of yarn stores, of course, because that's the whole purpose of the visit. And Colleen can talk a little bit more about those.
All right. So we actually ended up going to 2 yarn stores, and I have to tell you, they were both have surprises in them. So let's talk first of all about Stitch It Central. All right, so Stitch It Central, there's the card. And the owner's name is Maria, and her daughter is Cindy. And her husband also works in the store as well. He does a lot of woodworking things and organizing places to hang threads and yarns and things. So he's in the background as well, and they work really well.
Did they do picture framing, or am I wrong?
They do framing for stitchery, kind of cross stitch or needlepoint, those kind of things.
Right.
I think that's the framing that they do.
It was a cool store. A lot of, it seemed like a lot of history in that store also. It just had some real neat little nooks and crannies. And
yeah, when I knew it, it was the Clog and Thistle restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah,
I never knew.
and it was a great little restaurant. Yeah, a number of times. Right. And it was a great little restaurant. But they've purchased this, and they have done a lot of work. We were there last summer, I think, and we had a little look around, and they were just starting to get into yarn, and they've done a lot of work since then. So one side is all quilting fabrics, and there's quilting patterns, and there's all kinds of things. The fabrics are amazing, and it's really, really beautiful.
Yeah. And they do a lot of online things too, from what I understand.
Absolutely.
They talked about that.
Yeah, they'll ship. And so there's that, and then exactly on the opposite side of the building is all the stitchery. So things for cross stitch, things for needlepoint. They've got the fabrics for that. They have so many different kinds of threads and yarns and specialty things, and it's really cool how they've got it set up, because they've got these sliding walls. So you move this one across, and there's another wall behind it, and then there's more threads.
I don't know how they ever find anything there, but I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. Yeah. And then right kind of in the center, they have yarns. And so they have Patons and Red Heart and Lion Brand. But there are these little pockets of surprises. So they have some diamond luxury kind of yarn. They had some Mirasol. They had a number of different things. And when we were talking to Maria, she said that they're trying to get in more and more yarns. And I could see that from the time we were there last year till this time, there were more yarns there and more things to look at. And they had some cute little baby yarns and all kinds of things.
They're very knowledgeable and nice people. Very nice.
They were lovely.
I recommend, if you're ever in Ingersoll, I recommend that store.
Right. So that's Stitch It Central, and it is at 189 Thames Street South. So that's the first one. And then we kind of just went down the road, and so we went to 123 Thames Street South.
My favorite. It was such a great adventure going in there. It was nice. And Mala, the owner, was so sweet. Oh.
Yeah, she was a lovely lady.
Highly recommend
there's the card.
Yes.
And when I walked in, it looked like, at the front of it, it looked a little bit like a Michael's yarn store kind of thing. There were some yarns here, there were some beads, there were some other things. There were lots of cool things there. But as you walked further in, all of a sudden there was yarn and yarn and yarn and all kinds of really neat yarn. There were wisdom yarns. There was Cascade. There was Manos del Uruguay. There were so many different kinds of yarns. I said to May, I could be here forever.
And you know what it was? It kind of reminded me like a diamond in the rough. As you're driving through Ingersoll, which is a small town, it's not somewhere you would think from the sign that you would think, oh, that's a yarn store. Like, until you actually got in it and realized it was like this gold mine.
It was. It absolutely
amazing.
was. So many things. They have fabric as well. They have beading. They have a lot of neat things in this craft corner. And Mala is such a nice lady, and she had a long chat with us and talked. We asked her kind of, how did this happen? How did you end up with this craft corner?
The story was a great story. Yeah. You know, it was just fantastic. And the thing is that you know, she's just so warm and welcoming. And the store was just amazing, and I just highly recommend this place. It was just fantastic. So
we did have quite an adventure. Both stores are great. We had a good time in both.
Right.
I want to go back because I like to go back.
Now, one thing I do want to mention is Mala is not online yet. She wants to maybe branch out and get into doing that.
Okay.
But she did mention, I don't know if you'd heard that or
no,
not.
I think I was probably looking at yarn.
She did mention that she's going to talk to her son, but she wants to branch out and get online, but she's not there yet. But when she does, I think she's going to be very busy.
Right, and both stores have a website, so we'll put that in the show notes below. And if you've had any experience with Stitch It Central or with the craft corner, just comment below.
That would be
great to hear what you think about those. So that's our adventure. We had a great time. We had a lovely lunch at the Elmhurst.
We did.
And you know what? We have been very lucky with the weather because it's winter in Ontario, and you would think
the roads are sometimes closed because of the weather and because of the snow and the ice. And we've been very fortunate that every time we've taken a little adventure, that's not stopped us from going anywhere.
Exactly. So we're really lucky.
Yes, we are very lucky.
Yeah. So that's our adventure. So next, we're going to talk about our souvenirs. Now we're going to talk about our souvenirs. And some of them are mine, and there's a little bit for May too, so that's exciting. The first store we went to actually shop was the Stitch It Central, and I had found fabric there, and we talked about it on our last episode, and I made that project bag for my niece Meredith. She's out in Calgary and had said she just started knitting, and and I thought, I'm just going to make this and send it to her. Well, she absolutely loves it. So I was thrilled. And I can tell that Meredith is becoming an actual knitter because she was getting ready to go on a trip, and she was packing and she broke one of her knitting needles, and she had to run out as quickly as she could because she needed to get to the store before it closed so she could get a knitting needle so she could take it with her on her trip. That is the sign of a
true knitter.
True knitter. So that's it. So this is the fabric, and I've only seen it at this Stitch It Central place. I absolutely love it with the little white sheep and black sheep. And I like the little rainbow necklaces that they're wearing. So it's so cute, and I really like it. I really like it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a bag out of that. And then what I'm going to be able to do with that is we're going to have matching bags.
It'll be nice. That'll be very nice.
Right. And the second one that I found, and I'm going to let you hold that up.
I love this.
Oh my goodness. So this is some of the, sometimes you find fabric and you just have to buy it. So it's made by a Japanese designer. I don't know the name.
Oh, I wish we knew her name because I think she's quite popular.
I know. And I will, if I can find it, I'll put it in the show notes below. But this is beautiful. And
I don't know if you can see the little gold fleck that's in there. You might be able to see that, but it just gives it that little bit of a sheen without...
it is beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
So
gorgeous fabric.
It's been really hard for me because after our adventure, I thought, okay, I need to wash my fabric before I make the bag. And I really want to make the bag, but I want you to see it in its pristine way. So that is going to be a lovely another project bag for myself. And once I get it done, I'll let you see that. So those are a couple of fabrics that I found. And the other thing that I found was this yarn, and this is Mirasol Nuna. So it's 40% wool and 40% silk and 20% bamboo. And it's the silk in it gives it a real sheen. It's a sport weight, DK weight. Once I've mentioned Mirasol before, they give part of their profits to go towards schools, and that I'm a teacher, and so that warms my heart. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, and I'm still not 100% sure. So I bought 3 of them. It's not super expensive, but they're 50-gram balls. So I wanted to make sure I had enough. There's the 3. 1, 2, 3. I wanted to make sure that I had enough. So that I could make something. So I'll let you know when I decide on that.
Nice and soft again.
It is lovely. So that's what we found at Stitch It Central. And then we headed off to Craft Corner. So that's that little gem that we talked about. And as I said, when I walked in, I thought, oh, there's some lovely yarn, but I didn't realize until I went further into the store how lovely the yarn was.
It was amazing.
Exactly. So this is what I got for May, and it's called North Shore Prince. And it's got some gray and blue and a little bit of tealy kind of green. It is 100% acrylic. I think it's going to be great in the summer.
Nice.
Because I really think that when you take a look at that, I think that color is going to be very nice on you. You have a yellow jacket that whenever you wear it, people comment on how nice it looks on you.
That's nice and bright. It'll be nice for the spring.
Exactly. Yeah. So I know I could either do this shawl, which is that Koigu scarf pattern.
Oh, it would be nice. Yes.
Yep, I could absolutely do it in that. I could do your Anguli cowl.
Right.
Or maybe I come up with something new.
No, something new would be good too.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's good. And then I found a few things for So this one is that Saki bamboo. It's Wisdom Yarns. This is the Grotto colorway. And I had made the socks for Scott for his birthday.
Right. Is that the same wool?
It's the same yarn. And his was it was called Garnet Ridge. So it had grays and it had black and it had a burgundy color. I obviously fell in love with purple.
What a surprise.
It is not really a surprise, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to try and hold this up to the camera so you can see what it's going to look like when it's knit up. And I can hardly wait. So I'm going to do that experiment with the heels that I mentioned to you earlier. I'm going to do that experiment, and then I'm going to use this yarn and make myself some lovely self-striping socks.
That'll be lovely when you're all done.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And then, I found this. So this is Manos del Uruguay. It is the agave colorway. It's merino, it's nylon, and I'm going to open this up because it is absolutely striking. So here we go, May. We're going to undo the whole thing. Undo the whole thing.
Look at the colors in this.
I know. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I wish you could see these colors up close.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get a glimpse of that on the camera.
I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
Right? So we've got green, and there's a sky blue, and there's purple and black. And
they all kind of work together.
They
even
do.
Pink. Who knew?
I know. It is amazing. So I only have one skein. I'm going to do a one skein shawl because I think with all those colors, it'll be really nice. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but it was one of those things, a little bit like the fabric at that one store. I thought, I can't resist this.
Right.
Like, this is so nice. So it is going to go into stash. I'm going to start keeping a record of my stash because my souvenirs is definitely becoming stash.
Yeah.
And then what I want to try and do is almost have a little journal so that I write the yarn and I write beside it some ideas of what I want to do. Sometimes you buy yarn and you think, oh, that's what I want to make, and then you change your idea. And that's okay. But I just don't want to lose sight of what I've purchased because it's all beautiful and I absolutely love it.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
We are going to have to move out, though, if you keep buying all that stuff.
It's okay. I can organize it. It's all good. Yeah.
Nothing like an organized stash. That's all good.
Good. It's going to be definitely an organized stash. So that's my souvenirs. A little something for May, a little something for me. So I'm going to enjoy it. I absolutely love knitting. I'm so glad that we get to share this with you. We love being on this adventure. May being a non-knitter, she is amazing. So she'll come with me and she'll drive and she'll take pictures and she just really is supportive of me. And that means the world to me that she does that. And as I've mentioned, her eye for color is so helpful because sometimes I'll hold it up and she goes, no, Colleen, that is not for you. Don't be doing that. And so I don't.
Yeah,
and
I'm very honest.
Yes, you're very honest.
To a fault sometimes.
No, I think it's important. You need to be honest.
But yeah, we do have fun together and that's important. And it's important for everybody out there to have a good time and just enjoy it this age. Just to go and do what you like to do.
Exactly. So if you like what you see, please subscribe. We'd love to hear comments down below. That would be fantastic. So we really appreciate you taking your time and spending it with us. And we want to wish you well and
till next time.
Take care.